everyone, and welcome to How to Cite Textual Evidence in Your Writing with Mrs. Brown. We will be using MLA formatting as we go through this video, and this is how you will be expected to cite evidence in your writing for this class. So, just as a brief reason why we cite textual evidence, we cite textual evidence in our writing to support our ideas and prove to the reader that they are accurate or believable. So basically, without textual evidence to support your ideas come across to the readers as just your opinion. And we want our ideas to come across to the reader as a fact. So that's why we provide textual evidence in our writing. In addition, by citing textual evidence using MLA formatting, you are avoiding plagiarism, and that is definitely something that we want to do. We definitely want to give credit where credit is due and avoid plagiarizing other people's ideas. There are 3 steps to citing evidence with MLA, and I am going to go over each of these steps in detail in the next few slides. But you have to use a lead-in to your direct quote. You have to put the author's direct words in quotation marks. You have to use a citation at the end of the quote. So those are the 3 steps that every time you cite textual evidence in your writing, you want to make sure you have those 3 steps or 3 parts. So, using a lead-in. A lead-in is the beginning phrase of the sentence that introduces the quote. So if you're looking at my example, highlighted in yellow is a lead-in, an example of a lead-in. In the article on how to cite textual evidence in your writing, the author states that. This phrase is essential because it introduces important information that the reader should know about the context of your evidence. Where did the evidence come from? Who is saying whatever it is that you're quoting? What is the article that you're quoting from about? Your lead-in could be multiple sentences. It doesn't have to be just a phrase, but you do need some sort of phrase that introduces the quote. Without this, you are just dropping in a quote with no context, and your reader is going to have no idea where your quote came from, right? So as a review, you have to have a lead-in that introduces your quote. The example that I've provided is in the article on how to cite textual evidence in your writing, the author states that, and then I have the direct quote. By using MLA formatting to cite your evidence, you avoid plagiarism. Using quotation marks. This is the second step of citing in MLA formatting. Quotations are essential when using a direct quote as they signal to the reader that the words within the quotation marks are not your own. So as you can see, we still have the lead-in. In red, I have a beginning quote and an end quote, and highlighted in yellow is the quotation, the words that are not my own. Without quotation marks, you are plagiarizing. So you do have to put the evidence that you are pulling directly from the text in quotation marks with a lead-in and a citation. Using a citation. So what exactly is a citation? A citation comes after the direct quote and before the punctuation at the end of the sentence. And it includes the author's last name and the page number where the quote was found inside parentheses. Now, I know that was a really long definition, so let me show you and talk to you about what I am basically saying with that definition. So we have our lead-in, right, in the article, How to Cite Textual Evidence in Your Writing. The author states that we have our direct quote inside of quotation marks. By using MLA formatting to cite your evidence, you avoid plagiarism. End quotation mark. Then you can see we have a parenthesis. We have the author's last name, Brown. We have the page number, 2. We have an end parenthesis, and then we have the punctuation at the end of the sentence, okay, which is a period. So just to clarify, we have a citation that comes after the quotation mark, before the punctuation at the end of the sentence. So you'll see that the period is here after the citation. It's not here after the quote. We have the author's last name, Brown, and the page number 2 inside of parentheses. So I know that's confusing. This is an example for you to look at as you are citing evidence in your writing. And just as a review, one more time, there are 3 steps to citing evidence with MLA. You must use that lead-in to introduce your direct quote. You must put the direct quote within quotation marks, a beginning one and an end one. And you must use a citation at the end of the quote, which includes the author's last name and the page number within parentheses. Good luck, guys!